last time we gotta get in on an airplane for the trip. This is so fun. This is the end of a 2-week tour. I've been here 2 weeks, which is long enough to know you're fucking insane. Here's my impression of every person I've met in Alaska. I'm like, why do you live in Alaska? They're like, well, I came up for a week. Been here 89 years now. Also, I'm wanted for manslaughter. It's mostly manslaughter. I can't be near Virginia. And you're not impressed by anything. Nothing will impress you. I was hanging out in the ocean during this tour. The ocean. And I saw a fish. And I reached down and I grabbed it. And I caught it with my hands. And I picked it up, I was like, holy shit, I just caught a fish with my hands. And the guy I was with goes, that happens. What? Where? No, it doesn't. Did you see Castaway? It took him so long. This is the first time. And he goes, it's time, get over it. What's that mean? Then later that day, we went to this hot dog stand, and it said, reindeer dogs, Alaskan style. I was like, I gotta get one of those. I just want to try it, all right? I gotta see what Alaskan style is. And the guy gave it to me, and it was a bare hot dog. There was nothing on it. And I said, what makes this Alaskan style? And he said, for real, you can put whatever the fuck you want on that hot dog. And then he pointed to condiments. That happened. He was basically just like, the government won't watch you eat that hot dog. That's Alaskan style. And then he said, that's $11. And there's barely any reindeer in that. You got fucked, idiot. Tourist. You guys, I've never been to a state where you treat planes like fucking buses. I've never been on a plane before until this tour where it landed and it said, this isn't your stop. Sit tight. Some people are gonna get off, some other people are gonna get on, and then we're gonna go back into the sky. What? Why? Oh, it's the milk run. I still don't get it. What's the milk run? Do they not have milk here? Are we delivering milk? Am I part of a milk truck right now? Why can't Cordova get milk, but you know how to get oil fucking everywhere? You figured that out in the 70s. It's 2023. They're like, we gotta fly the milk over to Sitka. Get it together. I don't want to stop in Yak Attack, okay? I do not want to stop in Yak Attack, and I did. And I tried to get off, and they shamed me. I'm jealous of your state for being cool, though. Like, it's cool, it's interesting, it's weird. People come visit here. It rocks, it does. And I'm not pandering. I'm not pandering. I have a very low bar, okay? I'm from Iowa. I have a low bar. Everywhere's exotic to me, you know? I'm from a meth town in Iowa. So it doesn't take a lot for me to be like, that's pretty cool. Like, is anyone else in here from a meth town? Yeah? Wait. What? McKiskey. Sounds appropriate. All right, McKiskey, Alaska. Is it Alaska? McKiskey, Alaska? Sure? Look, bud, I just came. You tell the jokes, idiot. I didn't sign up to be part of your act. All right, McKiskey, allegedly Alaska. Have my back on this joke, okay? The reason I know I'm from a meth town is because until about 8th grade, I thought garages just blew up sometimes. That just happened. McKiskey? Yep, factual joke. And no one tells you why the garages are blowing up as a child. So you come up with theories. You know, as a little kid, I was like, sun must have got hot. Then I grew up and I was like, it can't be the sun. That doesn't make any sense. Why aren't all the garages blowing up? So I was like, it's the garage refrigerator for sure. It's gotta be the garage refrigerator, you know? Because as a kid, people would be like, go get me a popsicle. I'm like, are you out of your mind? You want me to go to the most combustible part of the house? I don't even keep my bike in there. Because the garage refrigerator is always making noise. It's your worst appliance. And it's really exciting to be able to tell this joke where people understand what a garage refrigerator is. It's wonderful, okay? Because I live in Los Angeles right now. And when I talk about having a garage refrigerator to a Los Angeles audience, all they hear is 2 refrigerators. Someone must have grown up a billionaire. And I have to correct him. I'm like, oh no, you don't understand what a garage refrigerator means for most of the United States. A garage refrigerator simply means you finally got a new refrigerator. And then you said, don't throw the broken one away. That's for weird shit now. That's for things that should get cold, but if they don't, that's still okay. That's for things we don't want around the everyday milk and eggs, you know? That's for more loose deer meat in a Ziploc. That's what we're gonna put out in the garage refrigerator. Stuff from your neighbor, that goes in the garage refrigerator. You know what I mean? Your neighbor Jerry shows up, he's like, you want any of this meat? Nah, I shot him. Like, you wrecked your car, Jerry, you hit that fucking meat, I know that. That's hit meat. I'll take it though, thank you so much. I know your processing plant, they do a great job, all right. I'm gonna put it out with the hot beer. I thought I was really rich growing up. I really did. I thought we were very rich. It doesn't take a lot to feel rich when you grow up in a meth town. It doesn't. Like, my dad sold cars and my mom was a babysitter, and I was like, I get why we're Republican. Keep the government out of this combined annual income of $55,000 for a family of 5. That's our Ford Taurus we share, not the government. You find out how poor you actually grew up with how late in your life you learn Red Lobster's not a fancy restaurant. And somebody didn't laugh and you're still poor, and that's okay. You have a goal now, that's exciting. Next time you pop down to Seattle, give it a shot. You can afford it, I promise. We think it's great, but it's the Applebee's of the sea, that's what it is. I didn't know Red Lobster wasn't fancy until I was 37. And I'm 37. It was months ago. It was this summer it happened, okay? I was in New York City with my friends. We were in Times Square and we were walking. There's a 3-story Red Lobster. I was like, whoa! And I took my phone out. I started taking photos of a fucking Red Lobster because it was 3 stories. I was like, oh, nobody's gonna believe this. Nobody back home is gonna believe that I saw a 3-star Red Lobster. That must be the mother, you know, like. And my friends were like, you love Red Lobster? I was like, oh, I love Red Lobster. Like, let's go. And I'm like, we wish. Someday. And they're like, no, for real, let's just go. I was like, no, for real, I got fucking shorts on. We're not getting in. That's a khakis only establishment, all right? Someone's grandpa in town gonna pay for that? That joke hit. You love when you're doing a stand-up special and one person in the crowd laughs. That's what you're going for. I connected with one guy, and we filmed this, and we flew the whole crew to Alaska. That's what we was trying to get, baby! One guy. I grew up in like a Big Lots part of the United States. Do you guys know what Big Lots is? Yeah? Who doesn't? Who doesn't know what Big Lots is? I'm gonna explain it to you guys, and congratulations. You lucky bastards. I'm gonna explain Big Lots to you. Imagine Kmart in the middle of a divorce. That's Big Lots. It's like an unshowered Kmart. You woke up, you know? Like you walk in and you're like, are you open? And it goes, your dad took the shelves. We're a piles and bins family now. Dig around. That's Big Lots slogan if you don't know. Dig around. You want a DVD? Check the spoon aisle. I don't know. This was a yard sale till someone built a prison around it. Yeah. I got really good at drinking in the Midwest. I got so good at it. I'm fantastic at it. I know I'm not Alaska good, but I'm still, I'm aware that I'm treading on your territory. Like, whoa, we have the biggest problems. But I'll put Iowa against Alaska, you know. We're going pretty hard together, all right? We both know it sucks. But I grew up in Iowa, and then I moved to Los Angeles from Iowa. And if you move straight to Los Angeles with the ability to drink like you grew up in Iowa or Alaska, they want you to go to rehab. It frightens them with how much you can drink. They're like, how many beers did you have? And you're like, tonight or today. I'm like, you drink too much. I'm like, have you met literally everyone I've ever met? I'm the weak link on my flip cup team. And it's, go ahead, what's up?
Where are we going after?
Let me finish the set and then we'll talk. Because if this keeps going the way it is, we're going to the fucking moon, baby! But if I eat shit, we're gonna go drink at Subway. It's up to us. This is the best I've ever done. Cool. It was very fun. I'm glad we shot this. It's not LA's fault that they don't like drinking though, because it's a weed town. They smoke a ton of weed. That's their thing. Yeah, I'm jealous, you know? I wish I could smoke weed, but I can't. I'm awesome at oopsie juices, you know? Like I'm a pro. But then I moved to a weed city and I'm not good at weed. Like, I've tried, but I can't do it. You know, have you ever smoked weed with someone and afterwards they're like, all right, what do you want to do now? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? We shouldn't have done that. You want to go to the mall? No way, dude. I'm pretty sure my 5th grade teacher's gonna be at the mall. And she said this would happen. She said I'd be a drug addict. I just can't smoke weed. I can't do it. But I wish I did it because it's a way better drug than alcohol. It really is. It's way better. It is. Let's do a quick study, all right? Everyone in here, think of the worst thing you've ever done stoned. Ha ha ha! Giggles. It's funny. Did you pet a dog a little too hard? Somebody at a party have to be like, ease up. You're like, oh, I'm sorry, it's just soft. I didn't think of it. That's fun. Now, think of the worst thing you've ever done drunk. Less laughs. You just thought of a crime, didn't you? Yeah. Weed's better. I thought about it. I was like, what's the worst thing I've ever done high? And I was like, oh yeah, I wrote too much material on the movie Pocahontas one time. Yeah, it happened. I got stoned as hell. I put on Pocahontas, and halfway through, I flipped open my notebook, and I'm like, there are some discrepancies in this film. You're not getting away with this, Walter. Then I went to bed. And I woke up in the morning, I was like, wow, I got so high last night. Jeez Louise. I was like, I think I wrote a lot on Pocahontas, and I looked at my notebook, and I read it all. I was like, shit! It's really good. But only if you've recently seen Pocahontas. If you don't know who Miko is, this is shit! But I loved it. I was like, this is the best stuff I've ever written. And I tried it anyway. I went on tour. And I would go to city, and I'd be like, anybody seen Pocahontas? Yeah, no, they hadn't. And I tried it, and it would just bomb. I was bombing with this Pocahontas material. But I believed in it so much that I tried to implement this new idea. I was like, if you buy a ticket to a show I'm on, how about the comedy venue is like, congratulations on your ticket. You also won a link to the film Pocahontas. Might want to watch it before the show. It's pretty important. And no one would do it. Like, we're not paying Disney fees. So I finally gave up on it. I spent a month of my life trying to force Pocahontas material down America's throat. That's the worst thing I've ever done high. It's not that bad, you know what I mean? That's petting a dog a little too hard. It's okay, it's fun. And I was like, what's the worst thing I've ever done drunk? Oh yeah, fought a cop. There's a big difference between musings on a cartoon and saying to a police officer in Iowa City, what the fuck did you just say to me? He won, if anyone's interested, and how that fight turned out. He used a stick. I wasn't ready for a stick. I'll tell you what you don't get to say when a cop pulls a stick out. Let me also go get a stick real quick. They use it right away. He won so much. He won so much I had to live at his work for 2 days. He took my clothes. If you're ever unsure if you want to fight or not, think, do they have my clothes? And if they do, you lost that fucking fight. I'll still smoke weed sometimes because I ain't a nerd, right, ma'am? But I don't eat weed. No. Eating weed is for children. I don't fuck with that. Eating weed is like finding a World War I grenade in the woods and throwing it. You have no idea what's gonna happen. Like, is that gonna work? And they're like, we'll find out when Grandma gets here. Also, I hate how they make weed edibles things I already desire. You know what I mean? I don't need an incentive to eat a brownie. I've always wanted a brownie. No one's ever offered me a gummy bear, and I'm like, oh, I'm not into gummy bears. I always want gummy bears. Let's make weed celery if we're gonna do this. You know, like, let's get high and healthy. Moms can get behind it, that's exciting. We're gonna limit mistakes at parties as well. I've never once walked into a party and seen an unmarked bowl of celery and was like, I knew this party was rock and roll. Yum, yum, yum. And then had somebody be like, oh, fuck, bro, how much celery did you just eat? Why? Just how much celery did you have? And be honest. I guess I did 2 stalks and an ants on a log. He had ants on a log! I know it's not even noon. Okay, yeah, the new parties, we watch that guy. Whenever I get too high, my immediate reaction is that I want to take a shower. Yeah, it's a thing. Because you think it's gonna make you not high. Even if I'm at a stranger's house, I'm like, do you have a shower that I could jump in real quick? Kind of panicking. But it doesn't make you unhigh. It just turns into a fascinating shower. Where you get way too excited about how when you hold your arm out, you guide water a little bit. Everyone's done it. Everyone here has been in the shower and then been like, whoa. I doubt that corner gets a lot of water. That's fun. I get way too excited when I'm high. You know what I mean? I'm way too excited. I talk to the shower, I'm like, normally you clean me, guess what? I'm cleaning you tonight. All the dry parts of the shower get water. No dry part is safe from Brooks. I bet you felt pretty safe, hair up there. Guess what? You're not. Yeah, that's right. That is right. Why don't you say hey to the drain for me? Tell him Covalent Bonds sent you. My main vice right now is wine. I love it. It's the best. I don't drink it on stage because I don't look like a dick, though. It's a way different vibe if I like walked on stage with like a glass of wine. I was like, who's from a meth town? Michelberino? No way. Like, what was your town? Michelada? What was it? Nikiski? That's not on me for not remembering that the whole time. Nikiski, more like, no thank you, me. You just look like kind of a jerk when you're drinking wine and talking into a microphone. You know, like if you're drinking it right now, that's fine. That's cool. You're not making an announcement. But if you're drinking wine and you make an announcement, that announcement's gonna suck. It is. Anytime anyone's holding a glass of wine and they're like, gather around, they're about to tell you something you don't give a shit about, you know? Like, Tiffany got into Vanderbilt, everybody! Shut up! You invited me to a barbecue. If you're ever at someone's house and they have a glass of wine and they say, gather around, don't. Just be like, time to leave, gotta go. And they're like, but wait. Don't let them brag. They're gonna brag. Leave. And this is the opposite if someone's holding a wine cooler, okay? If someone's rocking a wine cooler and they say, gather around, get over there. They're about to show you a jet ski they just won. That's right, yeah, you get to ride it, yeah, for sure. Anybody thrown up wine in here? You done that? You played this game? It sucks. Because you got to explain it's not blood? Do you know what I mean? You're just like, blah, blah, blah. That's not blood. So I get to stay. Ugh, don't step in it. One more, please. Every time I buy a bottle of wine from the wine shop I go to, I hate it because I have to lie to the guy who runs the wine shop I go to. Because I'm always interested. You know, I want to learn about wine. So I'm like, hey, how's this Pinot Grigio? And he always makes me lie by asking the same fucked up question. He always asks, depends, what are you having it with? I'm like, shit. Don't make me come up with a pretend dinner right now. I didn't come in here to do improv. What am I having it with? Probably the other bottle of wine I'm buying. How's red go with white? Are they fun together? If I got a big old cup and poured them in there, is that gonna go good? What am I having it with? Honestly, probably a Netflix documentary on the opioid epidemic. That's probably what I'm gonna have this with. I'm gonna drink this entire bottle of wine while I lay in my bed and I watch TV on a computer. And I'm gonna judge people. These guys got a problem. Sackler family should go to jail for sure. Anybody ordered a bottle of wine at a fancy restaurant before? Yes! It's so hard. There's like 80 steps I didn't know about. I went to a nice restaurant, and I'm uncomfortable, you know. So I grew up like a little rat trash in Iowa. Did you ever go to a nice restaurant and you're like, they're gonna know I ate rocks as a baby? So you're uncomfortable already? You know, when you walk in, you're like, ah. So this nice restaurant with my friends, and we sat down. I was with my friends, I was nervous, you know, I was like, they're gonna know I ate rocks as a baby. And I asked them, I was like, what are you doing, you know? What are you doing? And they're like, we're gonna probably each get a glass of wine. I was like, oh, me too. I crunched the numbers. If we do a whole bottle, we're gonna save $1. And they're like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, oh, it's a lot of pressure. I gotta do, okay. And the server came over and he's like, hey, what are we thinking tonight? And I was like, I'm gonna get a bottle of wine. And then I was like, oh, no, and it's not just for me. And he was like, yeah, that'd be crazy. If someone's like, I'm gonna get a bottle of wine, are you guys drinking tonight? Is anyone else at the table drinking? Because I'm personally doing an entire bottle of wine. And I felt uncomfortable right away because I was like, I tried too hard. But the server, he's a great server, and he could tell that I felt weird and awkward. And he was like, no, it's totally, yeah, of course, for the table, of course. Which one were you thinking about? And I pointed out, I was thinking this one. And he was like, that's a great choice. I don't know if we have it even. I'm gonna have to go to the cellar and look. It's such a favorite around here. I don't know if we have it. I'll be back. And he left. And his like praise of my choice totally flipped my mood to where I was like, I guess I do belong here. Do you mean, have you ever thought you might be a savant at something? That's how I felt about my wine choice, you know? I was like, crushed it. Favorite here in the cellar, doesn't know if they have it? Whoa. What if I'm a Somalian already, you know? And I didn't even need to take the test. That joke's great if you get it. But if you get it, you're kind of a piece of shit. Somalian is a person from Africa, okay? Sommelier is an autistic alcoholic. There's a difference. Can a Somalian be a sommelier? If they work hard, yes. Guess what? They had the bottle. Can you believe that? They brought it back out. And here's the thing that I didn't know happened. If you order a bottle of wine at a restaurant, what they do is they'll show it to you. They'll show it to you before they do anything. Which isn't a thing I knew or should happen. It's never happened anywhere else in my life. I've never ordered spaghetti and then had them be like, "Is this spaghetti?" So I didn't know what was happening, you know, and I'm just like, he knows I ate rocks as a baby. And he's just like pushing it towards me a little bit, closer and closer. I'm just like moving my head. And then I finally was like, yeah, that's a bottle of wine. He's like, I know it's wine. I'm showing it to you to make sure this is the correct bottle of wine you ordered. And I was like, ugh. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the name of the wine that I got. I know the price of the wine that I got. I'm kind of a price guy. You want to go get that big book back? I'll find it. It's on the first page, pretty close to the top. I think it's called house red. I don't know if you do the H or not. Maybe house red? I don't know how French it is. He's like, this is it. This is the wine you ordered. I know it. It's just a formality. And then he opened it. He didn't need any extra instruments. It screwed right off. And then he proceeded to pour me the smallest amount of wine I'd ever seen. Because here's another little wrinkle in the system. If you order a bottle of wine, the restaurant thinks you are then king of the table. And they pour only you a little bit of wine to taste. No one else. No one else. They're just like, does the king like the wine? Push it to your lips, Prince. And fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you. But do you? The man we perceive to be paying the bill tonight. Do you enjoy it? Tell Daddy Daddy did good. Did Daddy do good? Yeah, and I don't know what's happening at all. I'm just like, what are we doing, wine tapas? Like, there's almost nothing in here. We doing shots of wine? If that's cool. Load my boys up if that's what we're doing. But I got like almost no wine. Like, I understand it doesn't need to go to the brim. I don't need a meniscus, but like middle. Google image search glass of wine. You know, that's what I'm looking for here. You gave me like it's Thanksgiving and all the moms were like, sure, let the kids try a little bit. Like, I got no wine. And he's like, you gotta stop yelling. This is Olive Garden. You can't behave like that in here. You're ruining a lot of homecomings right now. It's a lot of teens' magical evenings, and you're freaking out. I poured you a little bit to taste. I was like, why? And he's like, to make sure the wine didn't go bad, dude. Relax. And I was like, wine goes bad? What? How would I know? He's like, you would know. And I'm like, I fucking doubt it. If I ordered red wine and they poured out clear fingernail polish remover I'd blame me. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, I said an Italian word wrong and I drink this all night now. And I'd take the sip and be like, woo! I like how it makes my right eye stay closed. Yeah, you can't get it open. You can taste the Italy in that for sure. The boot, I've tasted the boot of that. Why don't we get another one? Throw that on ice. Yep, I meant this one. This is what I want. I'm like, what happens if it's bad? He's like, you'd send it back. I'm like, I don't have that confidence. To send something, never. If I ordered fettuccine and there was a finger in it, I'd eat around it. You know what I mean? Like, I would. I'd be like, well, they're working hard back there. Don't want to get anyone in trouble on my accord. Oh, for sure, still a 20% tip, for sure. I just can't do awkward. I can't. I'm not good at it. Here's the most awkward thing I can think of. If you're ever around a couple who's been together for a long time, and they're at a party, and they start doing an impression of one another, just get the fuck out of there. It gets mean so quick. It escalates. They know too much. You're hanging out, and they walk in, you're like, oh, look who finally got here, everybody. Mark and Brenda, finally. And Mark's like, well, you know, Brenda, is my hair perfect? Hey, that's fine, Mark. We're just joking around. It's fine. You can be late. It's all right. Nobody cares. And Brenda's like, you know, Mark, I got fired for being a racist last year. You didn't even do a voice, Brenda. Thanks for bringing your kids. I think about having kids. I do. I'm 37. I could have kids. I think about it. Until literally every time I call my brother, who has 3 boys under the age of 12. Yeah. Every time I call him, 30 seconds into our phone call, his entire life turns into the back half of the film Point Break. We'll just be chatting along, and then out of nowhere, he's like, 1 second, what's in your hands? Show me those hands! Fuck, one's on the roof, one's on the roof. Where'd you get a Nixon mask? Shit! That joke does better if you've seen Point Break. I think it's crazy how quickly in life we separate children on whether or not they have a chance at life. We do. You may be like, what do you mean? What I mean is reading groups. That's when there's 6 and we're like, split them up. These are the maybes and these are just keep them busy. But they don't say like which one's the smart group and which one's the dumb group. They're cute with it. They're like, you're the red group and you're the blue group. But even at 6, you know. You're like, shit. My group loves glue. We can't get enough of this stuff. We're doing like glue charcuterie, you know? Like, why don't you take the glue stick, dip it in some wet cement? Yeah, it freaking rocks, okay? Maybe we should read a little bit. And they're like, we would, but remember how last reading we glued all the books shut? Damn it. We did, and it rocked. It was fun. I remember one time, our teacher went to split it up. She's like, red group over here, blue group over here. And my buddy was like, we're not the blue group, we're the glue group, right? And I was like, no. We shouldn't be proud of what we're doing. We should be ashamed. This story is just dedicated to the fallen brothers of the glue group. A lot of them aren't here anymore. Yeah, they blew up a lot of garages. Yep. They went out doing what they did best, guys. Just not reading instructions at all. I got out of the glue group eventually, and I ended up going to college and getting a degree in biomedical engineering. That happened, and I didn't do good. But it wasn't because I was bad at engineering. I just didn't know how to be in the corporate world. I just didn't know how to do that. I didn't know that you're supposed to just kind of be quiet and not say your feelings. I remember one time I was late to a meeting. Came in. It was like, many times I was late, but one time in particular I came in. It was like 10. It's so early to start work. And I came in, I was like disheveled, and I was holding a cup of coffee, and I had an annoying coworker that was like, "Careful, that's new coffee, it's just like cocaine." And I go, "Not even fucking close." What do you think, I'm late, idiot? So I got fired. They'll fire you for that. And multiple other, infractions that I did. Many, many infractions. I don't do cocaine anymore. I don't like it because I don't enjoy seeing the sunrise on accident. Do you know what I mean? If you mean to see the sunrise, it's beautiful. You wake up early, pops over a mountain, you're like, whoa. I'm living life right. But if you're just slinking around an alley and the sun pops over a Costco, you're like, ah! Have you ever walked home while people were out jogging for their day? It's a nightmare. You hate each other. They're like, "Look at this piece of shit." You're like, "Fuck it." Ah. If I ever do cocaine again, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a yoga mat with me, all right? That way, whenever I'm walking home in the morning, I got a yoga mat underneath one arm. And I'm walking along, and whoever's out jogging, they're gonna be like, "I thought I had my life together. This guy already did yoga," and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I did. I did the jeans on, wild eyes yoga. I need help. This has been so fun. I'm gonna close in this last bit. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna sleep for a month. This last idea. Bless you. Just about how I'm jealous of athletes. I'm very jealous of athletes, not because they're hunks who can dunk. That's totally cool. They've earned that, right? They became hunks who dunk. They should be paid a lot. I believe that. I'm just jealous that they have the only job in the world where at the end of their workday, they get to sit down and talk about why they fucked up at work that day. No other job. You don't get to have any other job and sit down and be like, whoops. You don't get to be a civil engineer and sit down and be like, I know how bridges are supposed to go. We're looking for this, and yeah, today we got one of these, but I'm gonna go home and think about it. Tomorrow we'll get back to here. We'll get back to here tomorrow. I'm going through multiple sexual assault allegations right now. It's just hard. It's just hard to civil engineer at this current climate. So I've thought about it. I'm like, well, there's no rules to stand-up comedy. I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna do a post-set press conference, and then I'm gonna talk about the jokes that didn't work. So this is the end of the game. This is the end of the game. But it's not the end of everything. Oh my gosh. Anchorage, Alaska, the Alaska tour overall. Thank you guys so much. What a wonderful time. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Solid effort tonight. Felt good coming out of the gates with the local Alaskan material. I felt proud of that. I feel like me and the man whose town I can't remember, we got along over that meth bit. Felt good about the meth bit. McKiskey, yeah, I'll forget it immediately again. I feel like garage refrigerators when the people who are like, I'm not sure, are like, okay, I like this guy now. He's talking about hit me. Moved on from there to the Red Lobster stuff. And I understand you don't have a Red Lobster, but you need to understand this special needs to play further than just fucking Alaska. So I appreciate you indulging me. Not being like, I would never. And the answer is you would. It's just not here. I was at a show during this tour where someone had to leave because a moose had been hit, and they're like, I gotta go clean a moose up. I was like, Jesus Christ. Another time on this tour, I saw another moose get hit, and a guy got out of his car, and the moose was dying, and it was awful, and it was making a lot of noises, and he took a gun out of his car, and he shot it in the head, and it's the first time that I was ever like, I get guns. I was here, I've been here 2 weeks, and I'm like, nah, I'm pro-gun now. Like, what if you hit a moose? You don't know when you're gonna hit a moose. This has been so freaking fun. Now's the part of the press conference where you guys are the press. So if you have any questions about jokes or concerns, things that I could have done better, okay, go ahead. What's the what? What's the milk run for the people outside Alaska? So, from what I can guess, the milk run is what idiots take when they say yes to shows that they don't know how small the town is. That's the milk run? So I got it, okay. Yeah, go ahead, ma'am. Would you rather fight a bear or a reindeer? Well, one of them brings presents. And the other one is a bear. I'd fucking kick the shit out of Rudolph before I fought a bear. Somebody else? What do I think of Alaskan weed? I didn't try it. I don't know if you saw my set, dude. It's not a joke. If I tried it, this whole set would have been me being like, I'm fucked up, I'm sorry. Turn the lights off, man. Yeah, do you have a question? I'm sorry if this is an uncomfortable question. Okay. What happened with SNL? Sorry if this is an uncomfortable question, what happened with SNL? I wasn't good at it. All right, any other questions that don't give me night terrors? Yeah, go ahead. Which town was I in that the cat was the mayor? It was Talkeetna, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Here's what happened in Talkeetna that was pretty exciting. I knew that there was a cat mayor in Talkeetna, and I saw a cat like out on the street, and I took a video of it, and I was just joking around. I was like, hey, we want better infrastructure. And I was like, that's funny to have on my own. And then later at lunch, I was like, I took this video of a cat in Talkeetna, and then I looked up what the cat mayor, what it looked like, and I was like, it was the fucking cat. I talked to the mayor. Yeah. And my friend who I was with was like, was it outside the general store? I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's where he lives. So yeah, I've met Denali, the mayor. And I know he's no Mr. Stubbs. I'm familiar with your cat politics. All right, go ahead. Yes, with the Pocahontas jokes. Okay. I can do the Pocahontas jokes, but they have to be wanted. Okay. All right. And remember, we asked for this. So we all just saw Pocahontas, right? Everyone in here is very familiar with that 1995, not quite a hit cartoon. I got a question, Pocahontas. Also, I have a 80s New York comic for this joke. I got a question, Pocahontas. Why ain't those animals talking? That's most of the joke. That's most of the joke. And you wanted to hear this. Here's what happens when you watch Pocahontas, okay? You're very stoned. And you're in an apartment. And you go, I think that movie was good. And you hit play. And it starts off very boring. Very boring. It's John Smith, he's in the old world. Snooze. I don't give a shit. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, you know? And then we fast forward to the new world, and it's Pocahontas, and she's swimming in a waterfall. You're like, okay, getting closer. Still not funny, but interesting. And then a raccoon shows up. His name's Miko. And he shows up, and you're like, oh, yeah. He's gonna be curious as hell. I hope they got Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Let's hear him. Let's go. Come on. What's he saying? And he doesn't talk. You're like, well, that's a misfire. Why wouldn't he talk? But then your fears are quickly alleviated because there's a hummingbird that shows up right behind him. Flip. He shows up and you're like, forget about the raccoon. This guy's gonna talk a mile a minute, you know? He's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You know, like John Leguizamo, let's go. And he doesn't talk either, and you're like, why'd you draw it? Why'd we draw this? We got a clear Timon and Pumbaa situation where we just ran away from. I've seen this film, it's called Apocalypto. But there's one last bastion of hope. It's a royal pug in Pursley. And he walks down the gangplank. And you're at home and you're like, he even looks like John Lovitz. Let this dog be John Lovitz. You know how funny would that be? He gets there, he's like, get me out of here. This place stinks, ah. But he doesn't talk either, and you're like, ah. But by now you're 20 minutes into the movie and it's a really fantastic film. It's really, really good. I mean that. It's awesome. It's got a great message. The cartoon Pocahontas, not the real story. No. They abducted a woman. But the cartoon has a fantastic message. It's incredible. It's very important. It's something we can learn a lot from in 2023 because the whole message of the cartoon Pocahontas is love. Love is all that matters. John Smith loves Pocahontas. Pocahontas loves John Smith. And everyone's like, you can't. And they're like, but why not? And they're like, because you're different. And that's stupid. But then slowly, everyone allows them to love each other. And you're like, whew, good. Like there's like an important lesson to learn in 2023 about that. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if someone's from a different race or religion or sexuality. Like if they love another person, let them do that. It's wonderful, yeah. Do not get in the way of that. It's really powerful, and you're so high. And you're just like, I can't believe I was mad at a raccoon. I need to be a better person. And then what happens? 80 minutes into this 83-minute movie, a fucking tree talks. And it screws up your brain. The tree talks, but not the raccoon. He's not even funny. Fuck this, build the wall, build the wall. Make America great again. That's a Pocahontas joke, and yeah, thank you guys. I've always dreamed of ending a special with Make America Great Again. Thank you very, very much. So we got to McCarthy. The only way into the town is to walk. We got to walk now. There's not gonna be anybody here.
While we're waiting for food, might as well get some fireworks. We got no show tonight, but now we do.
Trying to get paid in Fairbanks. They fucking ran out before they paid us. We gotta get paid.
I ended the show last night by saying, if anybody has a boat tomorrow, that'd be great. Jason had a boat. We did not catch these fish.
We're trying to revive them.
Yeah, actually, this strong, strapping young lad here, he pulled them out for us.
Feeding them over there.
And our man over here is, Alaska's pretty chill.
Living on a boat isn't sustainable. We all want to. It sounds cool. It's not. I have privacy here. Let me just go ahead and open it. Here we go. Now the day started.
That's kind of the way people in Alaska live. Just do whatever the hell you want.
Fuck yeah.
Come left.
There it went left.
There went left.
The other one is like
I don't trust this hotel, the Alaskan in Cordova, and so I took the top sheet off, but there's stains on the middle seat. If I get murdered tonight, it would make sense, but I don't think we'll get murdered. I think we will die in a fire. I don't feel like we made the right decision. It's the mayor. We want better infrastructure. All right.